is the Next Level Loan Officers podcast. To learn more about Next Level Loan Officers, go to becomnl.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Next Level Loan Officers podcast, the #1 podcast for loan officers by loan officers. I am Sean Z, and joined by the man, the myth, the legend, and fellow co-founder, Kellen Vaughn. Kellen, how are you, sir?
What up, Sean Z?
You know, the sky, soon to be my loan count, and
interest rates.
And interest rates.
Too soon?
No, you know, they're going to come down in the future, and life will be great when that happens as well too. But life's pretty darn good now if you're focusing on the right things. And, you know, Kellen, we were just talking about this before we jumped on. And, you know, every time, you guys have heard this before, but every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Every time that, you know, you go and check your fantasy football lineup, you're saying no to an ATM that you can be knocking off your plate, whether it's recording videos, calling realtors, texting past clients. You know, as many people know, I left the corporate world, opened up my own small mortgage company. And so I'm really busy. Kellen, myself, Shane, KT, and all of our team are running Next Level. And then I decided to open this mortgage company so I could reduce the stress in my life. Yeah, it really was to reduce stress in my life. But, you know, so dozens of people have reached out and been like, hey, man, I'd love to pick your brain and open a mortgage company. And it's really hard for me to say yes to everybody there and serve my borrowers, serve my realtors, serve everybody in Next Level. Because then I have to say no to a lot of things. So, you know, we recorded a couple podcasts on how that went down, my decisions, what happened, how to do that for yourself. And that is definitely not a decision that everybody should make. If I didn't have two amazing people on my team to help me with that, no way could I have done it. But I've had to say no to a lot of people who, you know, just want to pick my brain because I've got a lot of other things that we want to do, are doing, these irons in the fire. And most importantly, my ATMs, my actions that matter for Next Level in my mortgage business every single day.
Well, you know, Sean, you bring up a great topic. And so for the loan officers that are listening to this is really important stuff, because this is kind of, I mean, I almost put this in the category, Sean, of like, this really just determines which loan officers are going to be here 6 months from now and which ones aren't. And I've seen it even within my own company, my own branch, right? Loan officers who I'm just kind of constantly amazed at how and where they spend their time and the actions that they choose to spend their time on, right? And that they're not what we would say actions that matter, right? Which are money-making activities. And you know, I knock on these loan officers, and the reality is we're all challenged by this to some degree, right? Life today is more busy than it's ever been before, especially for me. I know for you and for many, many people out there listening. And so, you know, it's really just about kind of deciding what's important, what are you going to do, and how are you going to do it. In fact, I have a challenge that you know, I like scrolling social media, right? Like, it's who doesn't, you know, and sometimes I fall into like, you know, I'm kind of an airplane guy. Like, I was a pilot many years ago. And so I kind of get sucked back into it. And I watch YouTube videos on flying and stuff like that, because it's just kind of a personal passion. And it's like a way to kind of like, just, you know, relax the brain a little bit. But even I, like, during the day, I have on my phone limits set on those apps so that I know, hey, you know, like, I only allow myself so much time during the day to do those kinds of things because I've got important stuff. But I do think it's important, like, to just have a little bit of that space in there. But all of that to say, you know, I was at a conference last week and there was a great point that was brought up, which is, you know, effort in, dollars out, right? That was pretty basic. We talk about that all the time here when we talk about, you know, 80-20 and those kinds of things. And so I think for those listening here, let's talk about effort in, dollars out, and where is that effort being spent? And I challenge loan officers all the time. You know, they'll call me and they'll say, hey, man, or they'll do a coaching call with us and they'll, hey, I'm really in a slump. And I go, okay, cool. Let's hop in the time machine for a minute and let's go backwards 30 days what were you doing 30 days ago? Well, I had a good pipeline 30 days ago. And, so me and the wife took a vacation and I didn't answer my phone or this and that or whatever the case is, right? It's like we can always see. The cool thing about our business is that we know what a month is going to look like from now because it's whatever we're doing today. That's how this business operates. It's really easy. So if you're sitting around today and you're not doing what's required, you're not putting the effort in to get the dollars out, you're not doing the actions that matter, well, 30 days from now they're going to be painful. Now, the good news is you can turn that ship around.
I mean, I struggle with it. I have ADHD and I have to block time on my calendar. And even some of the time I block on my calendar, you know what? I'm not perfect with. But so we just launched 4 new Power 90 groups in Next Level Pro. And our members have committed to doing a check-in in the morning and a check-in in the afternoon, what they're going to do, and then the success of their ATMs in the afternoon. And somebody commented yesterday, Rich, and Rich said, man, I only hit it at 60% today. And I was like, congratulations, bro. Like, you hit your ATMs at 60%. That's greater than 99% of every other loan officer on the planet. And imagine if you hit 60% every single day. You compounded that every single day. I live in the greatest baseball city that ever was or will be, St. Louis.
Well, we can debate that.
And so, if you bat 300 in baseball for 10 years, you're going to, first of all, be rich as you can ever dream of. And so are your children and your children's children. You're going to go to the Hall of Fame and people are going to carry you around on their shoulders forever, wherever you go. The thing is, though, if you bat 300, you got an out the other 7 times. And the thing with most loan officers, especially when business turns, especially when things get off, like we find, our coach taught us this word. It's an amazing phrase, the surface confusion, all these other things, the social media, the checking your fantasy football lineups, which, man, this is the first year I haven't played fantasy football in like 20, and I can't believe how much time I have left back in my life. But all of these other things that are easy to get in the way, and then you end up, I'm busy, but you didn't do anything. And so having your ATMs, having these 90-day plans, these are the 4 things that I'm really going to focus on. I'm going to focus on video, getting back belly to belly with my agents, and whatever other things that are important for you in the season that you're in, and really executing on those. Even if you just execute at 50%, man, give yourself some grace. You're going to the Hall of Fame. You're going to have an amazing career, and you're going to crush your competition.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We talk about this if you've ever been to one of our live events, and the question always is, right, like, how much time does the average loan officer spend on money-making activities in a given week, right? In a given week. And I would argue that it may be even less today than it was back then. But, people throw out all kinds of answers. And the reality is the answer is less than 15 minutes a week. And so if you're really honest with yourself and you think about how much time do I really spend doing, and I'm talking money-making activities, not chasing page 3 of the bank statement, not doing any of the surface confusion that Sean talked about, but really doing money-making activities. If you're honest with yourself, you may be above average, but most of you is probably less than 15 minutes or less a week. And so, you can wildly alter your course in this business by just minor changes, right? Like, we're not talking, you don't have to redo everything you're doing, but if you're intentional and you're focused during your day, and you could spend 30 minutes a day doing those money-making activities, those ATMs, then your business 30 days from now, after that consistency, will look completely different. So here's the challenge, right, for everybody. Like, if you're sitting there and you're feeling like the world's falling in around you, rates are rising, deals are evaporating, if you're feeling nervous about your future, then you can take that away. It's easy. Now, it requires some dedication, it requires some commitment, but you can alter your course today, commit to doing those ATMs on a daily basis, and in 30 days from now, I promise you, your life will look completely different. And if you need help or structure or accountability to get there, come on over to becomenl.com. Sign up for our Next Level Pro.
Hey, how much does that cost for the first 60 days?
Well, it's free for the first 60 days to come into our community. And then it's only $197 a year. And then you can hang out, you can rub elbows with a lot of really cool people in there. You can ask questions. We've got a ton of resources, and go check it out. And then if you decide you want to get an Power 90 group or something like that, we'd be happy to welcome you into that. But becomenl.com, you can join our community, 60 days for free, and then $197 a year. But more importantly than that, Sean, is listen, we want loan officers to succeed. That's the reality. We want good loan officers to succeed. Let me put it that way. We all know there's loan officers out there that are trolling around and trying to scoop up the last couple of deals that they can before they exit the business and go back to doing whatever it was they were doing before 2020 rolled around. And what we want is a really vibrant industry filled with professionals. And so however we can help you get to where you need to be and get away from this feeling of being scared and concerned about what next month's going to bring, hit us up. Let us know how we can help.
Hey, if you're feeling like concerned or scared about where next month's going to be, I think, Kellen, you will agree with me on this. The best cornerback to ever step on the field of any football field in any land, anywhere, Deion Sanders. Can we agree to that?
We can agree to that. Yes.
Okay. So Deion Sanders was recently on 60 Minutes. He is head coach at Jackson State in Mississippi, one of the HSBCU conference schools. And before, HSBCU schools never went after top 5 conference talent. So they never went after ACC, Big 10, Big 12 talent because they never thought they could get them. So Deion Sanders has only been coach for a couple of years, and they are killing it. And they don't have great facilities. They don't have anything. They were actually just second, one of the top recruits in the land, and going to Alabama. They got the top recruit in the country last year, and so he's killing it. And it's great. It's 13 minutes. Google Deion Sanders 60 Minutes. You can watch it. But the last minute to 30 seconds, Deion Sanders just talks about winning. And he's just like, man, when I just know I'm going to win. I've won at every level, and I know that I'm going to win. And it was funny. I was sitting there, Kellen, I was watching with my wife, and it's, picked a great time to, leave a cushy job and open up my own company. And I was just like, hey, babe, you know what? Like, I'm not saying I'm the greatest quarterback who ever lived, but that's how I feel every day when I wake up and go in to do what I need to do, not because I'm better than anybody else, just because I do my ATMs. I execute. I know that when I show up, I'm going to be productive. I'm going to be putting out content. My realtors love me. I'm meeting new realtors every single week that I'm adding to my pipeline. Do they all send me business? No, but I'm meeting more of them, and I'm getting more commitments, and more of them are sending me business than not. I'm creating value with very few specific things that I want to brand my new company and business to do. And I'm crushing it with it. And in a very short time, my doors have been open as we've been recording this for about 17 days, actually 16 days. And I have more loans in my pipeline than the average loan officer does right now.
The reality is, and we can end on this thought. Every day, well, let me back up for a second. We have a saying here at Next Level that we've talked about for years, right? Prosperity is a choice. It's a choice. So every day you have a choice into how you spend the time that you are at work, right? Let's call it 8 hours. Everybody has this same choice. Sean, you have a choice. I have a choice. Every loan officer in here has a choice. It goes back to what I said earlier. effort in equals dollars out. How much effort are you really putting into your day? How much effort are you really putting into your business? You can't go build new realtor relationships if you don't pick up the phone and meet new realtors. You can't get more applications or leads unless you go generate more traffic from realtors. You can't close more loans unless you get more applications and you get more leads. Like, it's pretty simple. So use this message, use this podcast as an opportunity and a moment in your life to change your course and go out and get the life that you want. I promise you, despite what the news tells you, despite what Housing Wire says, despite what the stock market says, you have a choice to go out and make your own destiny. And I challenge all of you to do that today. And listen, if you need help, if you need accountability, if you need somewhere to go to vent that frustration or to find those next marketing tactics or tips or whatever it is, just come over to becomenl.com. Just come join us. It's $197 a year. I mean, it's almost free. Let's call it free.
It is. And Kellen, you were alluding to the pro membership that we have. That's $197 a month. And one of the biggest things that you get with the pro membership is you get 5 live calls a week. 2 of them I get to nerd out and bring you the Mortgage Minute. And there was an amazing headline this morning about mortgage demand being at 20-year lows that I already know is going to be my topic on the next one. And I'm so excited for the things that we bring to the table that people can cut, paste, and repeat, because you can look at those headlines and you can be like, oh man, part of my ATMs is looking at those headlines, which, are 80% negative. I mean, frankly, right now they're about 97% negative and turning them 97% positive and 3% negative, because I know I'm good at controlling the message in the media. And when I do that, I win. So as you think about the things you say yes to, make sure you're saying no to the right things, because if you aren't, then the good yeses are passing you by at 100 miles an hour and you didn't even see them.
Hey, go out and own the day today, folks. Do something today that you haven't done. Get outside your comfort zone. I'm talking to you, Mr. or Mrs. Loan Officer. You're hearing me right now. If you haven't called a realtor, if you haven't texted a realtor, if you haven't called your past database, today's the day. Go do it. One step at a time. Make today the beginning.
Kellen, it is always a pleasure, my friend.
Sean, likewise. We'll see everybody here over at becomenl.com. We'll see you guys later. Thanks, everyone.
Peace out.